Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Amari Kalia. If you're new here, today I'm going to tell you guys 5 to 6 daily habits that I practice almost every day to become the best version of me, the healthiest version of me, and to just really prioritize my overall wellness. I've been a personal trainer for the past 2 years, but I've been in the wellness, health, fitness space for about 5 to 6 years. Throughout my journey, it has evolved from only focusing on fitness to integrating nutrition to pouring into my mental and spiritual health. So now, I'm a pretty well-rounded person when it comes to how I operate from a health perspective. I don't only go to the gym or only focus on what I eat. I focus on a lot of things because that's just the type of person I am. I'm a very multifaceted person. I like to focus on multiple things at once. I like to have different goals at one time. I just like to stay motivated. I like to stay disciplined, and I like to always be working on something. And about a year ago, I thought that was a bad thing, and I went through this journey of you're always overworking yourself, you're always having something to focus on. But then throughout that journey, I felt unfulfilled, and I felt like, no, it's okay to have something to focus on, even if it's just one thing on a smaller scale. But for me, I've raised my baseline to the point where a lot of things are just normal for me. So I'm going to tell you guys what those things are in hopes that I can get more people to focus on their overall wellness and to really just become their best selves. This is not for people who want to live an average life. This is not for people who want to be average, who don't want to become the highest version of themselves, who don't want to break through all of these programs that we've been put in. This is for people who are striving to change, who actually want to create the life that they want and not just take what's been given to them. So if that's what you are interested in, and if that's the journey that you're on, keep watching. There's average people, and then there's people who want to operate at their highest level. So you have to figure out which one you're in. Everyone will probably say, oh, I want to be my highest self, but at the same time, you're not willing to do the things that will get you to that point. You're not willing to sacrifice and let go of those things that are holding you back. And that's just something that you have to be aware of, or something that you need to figure out now if you really want to change who you are. And really, it's not even changing who you are, it's being your authentic, real self. Because we've been, all these things have been thrown on us to keep us away from being who we truly are, to know our true power and know that we are in control of our life to some degree, to a high degree. And so being that that's what they're trying to do, a lot of people will just kind of take what life has given them and take it how it is. But me personally, no, I'm not doing that. I am a creator. We're all creators. We all have that ability to create, to change, to be who we want to be. And so it's time that we break free from these chains, from these strongholds that keep us in bondage, and really just become our best self. So first of all, number one, movement is very important to me. So daily, and these are all daily habits, things that you can do on a daily basis. Moving your body in some way, whether you go to the gym or you have a home gym and you strength train, you get your steps in, you have a daily step goal, you go for a walk every day, if you go to a group fitness class. At this point, there are so many resources. There are so many free resources at our fingertips with this thing right here. There's no reason why you can't find some type of routine for yourself. And a lot of times you probably can't find a routine because you spend a lot of time doing BS, doing things that don't really matter, and then you say you don't have time to work out, but you really do. And I know everyone's situation is different. You got kids, you got family, all the things. You might have to work 2 or 3 jobs right now. Cool. I'm talking to people who are willing to change things around in their schedule, who are looking to add in some exercise. Exercise is not just about how you look. Obviously, that is a huge bonus of going to the gym. You look fit, you look strong, your waist is small, your stomach is flat, your muscles are toned. whatever it is that you look for aesthetic wise, you can have that if you just go to the gym regularly, and of course doing all the other things. But also, being your highest self, you want to be able to function. You want to be able to pick up things if they're heavy, whether you are a woman or a man. You want to be able to move around when you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. You want your knees to be good. You want to not have a lot of shoulder pain or back pain or all these things that usually happen as you get older, because if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. And so, like, for example, my sister-in-law's husband came over to pick up some furniture that we gave to them, and it was just me at home because my husband was at work and he didn't get off until a certain time. But my sister-in-law's husband, he needed to come at a specific time, so I was able to carry it was a bed. I was able to carry it with him. Obviously, it was broken down, but he kind of underestimated me, even though he knows that I go to the gym. He knows that I strength train, but he's like, oh, you a woman, da 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 da. And I'm like, dude, come on. Like, I'm like telling you I can do it. So I was able to literally carry a headboard, a mattress, the rails, like all the things that come with the bed. I was able to carry those things with him all the way to the other side of my apartment complex, down the elevator, down to his U-Haul. And those are the things that I want to be able to do. Like, I want to be able to function. I want to be able to carry heavy things. Now, obviously, there are some things that I don't carry. I'm not trying to be the strongest person, but I want to be able to lift things. I want to be able to carry things. I want to be able to carry my groceries, be able to carry in my baby when I have one, be able to carry a case of waters. Like, so you want to be able to function in life. You want to be able to move your body without pain, and you just want to focus on being active. So every day, have some type of routine. It is 10:55 in the morning. I did an hour of cardio, and I also did a full body workout with weights. Tomorrow's going to be my rest day, but guess what? I'm still going to make sure that I get my steps in. I have a job where I'm very active, so I'm going to get those steps in regardless. But if you have a job where you're sitting all day, it's time for you to find a routine for yourself where you are active, where maybe during your breaks you go for a walk, or during your breaks you can go to a quick 30-minute workout class, 15-minute class on YouTube, something. But you need to be active. You need to be moving your body. People who are elite, they work out, they go to the gym, they're healthy, they're fit. Now, this leads into my next point, which is focusing on your nutrition. The food that you put into your body affects your mind and your gut health. When you're feeling sluggish, when you're tired, when your stomach is hurting, a lot of the health issues that you may have, 9 times out of 10 is correlated to what you are putting into your body. The average person eats a lot of sugar. They eat a lot of sodium. They eat a lot of chemicals, because a lot of the food that we eat is heavily processed, and they put a lot of chemicals in those things for the color, for the so it can last longer, things like that. A lot of the foods that you eat, especially if you go to grocery stores and you're usually in the aisles, you're not going off to the freezers or refrigerator, to the produce section. Those foods that are in those packages are very unhealthy for you. They have been processed. They have been changed in some way from one form to another, which is why we push to eat a lot of whole foods. So every day you need to be eating fruits. This morning I had some berries with my breakfast. I had some spinach inside of my eggs. For lunch today, I'm having homemade burritos. I have ground turkey. I have beans in those. And I'm going to eat it with some Greek yogurt on the side. And I'm going to also eat it with some broccoli. Dinner tonight, I think I'm going to have me a grilled salad from Chick-fil-A. Like, I'm very intentional about what I put in my body. And listen, I've been doing this for about 6 years now, and it has not come easy. I feel like I'm just now really getting to that point where, like, I understand the importance of eating foods that are nourishing to my body. You want to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables so that you get in those nutrients that your body needs. We are not machines. Our body needs nutrients for us to thrive. Okay, so you need to make sure every day, even if you just eat 1 apple a day, or 1 cup of berries a day, or 1 kiwi a day, 1 small salad a day. I've been making it a part of my routine to eat 1 salad a day. I just buy spring mix every time I go to the store, and I just have some spring mix with some olive oil, salt, and pepper. Cool, that's all I need. Just get in my little greens for the day, even though I do eat greens throughout at least 2 meals a day. So You need to be eating foods that are nourishing to your body. Like I said, this is for people who are trying to become their best selves. If you're paying attention to what's going on the inside, it will reflect on the outside, okay? It's all about your vibrations, the frequency that you want. If you want to be on a high frequency, if you want to have your mind healthy, your brain healthy, your gut healthy, pay attention to what you are feeding your body. Okay, this is like one of the most important things. You need to be very intentional about your environment. Your environment is not just where you live, it's where you work, it's the people you talk to on a daily basis, it's the content you consume. On a daily basis, you need to make sure that you're not having a lot of conversations with people who are negative, who are gossiping, who are angry, who are miserable. On a daily basis, you shouldn't be talking to people like that. Unless it's your job somehow, some way. Otherwise, you should not be having those type of conversations. I had to really understand that when it comes to family. Most of the time, sometimes your family means well, but they don't realize that they may be always telling you like something negative that's going on in the family or in their personal lives or even what's going on in the world. You might not want to hear that. Me personally, I don't want to hear that. I don't want my frequency to be brought down on a daily basis. Like I said, we're talking about daily habits. So once a week or so, you talk to a certain family member just to check in on them. They may tell you the family update, cool, whatever. But like, imagine hearing that stuff every single day. So on a daily basis, pay attention to your environment. Be intentional about where you're consuming. Don't be following the shade room. Don't be watching those TV shows, Love Island, all that crap, those reality TV shows where women are fighting, especially to my black women. We need to get away from all those TV shows that are toxic, that are, us fighting, us arguing, fighting over men, things like that. Let's get away from those type of shows. Your house, keep your home clean. For me, I do my best to make sure like my dishes are clean. So like throughout my day, if I'm, in and out of the kitchen, cool. But like before I go to bed, load the dishwasher. When I start my morning, unload the dishwasher. Trash is always taken out. Always wiping off the counters. Dirty clothes are in their respected place, in the dirty clothes bin or in the washing machine, ready to get started. Like, I personally thrive better when my space is clean. And I'm pretty sure there's science behind it. When your house is a mess, it's literally a reflection of what's going on in the inside. You're chaotic, maybe you're stressed out, maybe work has been crazy, life is crazy, you're too busy. All those are signs that, like, if you come home and you see that that's your space and it's been a couple of days, it's pretty much a sign that like you need to relax, you need to sit down, you need to breathe, you need to take time to clean your space, and you need to take time for yourself. Because like I said, your external world is a reflection of what's going on in its inside, which is why I also talked about food. If you're eating food that is very unhealthy for you, it's going to reflect on the outside. You're going to be sluggish, no energy. Like I said, you're going to be overweight. Like, all these things are going to reflect. So if your outside is chaotic, it's a great sign that, okay, I need to take some time, give myself an hour to clean my space, to, listen to some positive music, some positive affirmations. This is the time that I need to take for myself. So keep your environment clean, limit contact with people who are negative and toxic, who are full of drama, who are not really trying to do the work. They complain all day, they want to change, but they're not doing the work to change. Limit your contact with those people. So what that looks like on a daily basis, you might be declining phone calls, or hey, I'm gonna hit you up when I'm a little less busy. I'm busy right now with work or whatever. You don't gotta explain yourself. That's something that I'll stop doing. Stop overly explaining myself. Sometimes I just don't answer the phone. Or hey, look, I'm gonna hit you up later when I'm free. Keeping your environment clean. Like I said, I'm wiping off the counters after I cook. That's a big thing for me too. When I'm cooking, go ahead and be doing the dishes as you're cooking. If something that's in the oven or on the stove, slow cooking, go ahead and put those dishes into the dishwasher. Go ahead and rinse them off or whatever. And I pick up after myself as much as I don't. These are not things that I want to do, okay? Like, after a long day of working, you don't feel like coming home and, organizing your house. But if you want to feel your best and be at your best, these are things that you literally have to do. All right, next thing. You need to be educating yourself in some way. So for me, I'm reading a book called The Body Keeps a Score. I'm really into mental health and mindset. And so I'm right now learning about how trauma affects the body. I've been reading this book for a long time. It's a very thick book, and there's a lot of information in it. It's a doctor who wrote it. So it's a very complex book, and it's taken me a long time to digest the information, and I want to take my time with it. But I'm reading a book. I listen to daily videos of people talking about some of the topics that I like to learn more about, high level conversations. I'm listening to people talking about how to change, how to become better, how to let go of negative thoughts, how to become a better wife. For me, I'm married, how to be a better friend, how to just different things that are helping me to become a better person, because that's something that I do care about. Like I said, my content is for people who actually care, who actually want to change. This is not for people who are going to find something negative like, oh, I hate the self-motivation content, the over da-da-da. No, like if you want to change, you're going to do what it takes to change. And sometimes it takes a lot of times, most of the time, it takes repetitive actions. So this is why I said daily habits. I'm not saying all day you got to listen to motivational conversations or content or reading books the entire day. But what I'm saying is, we wake up in the morning, depending on what your schedule is like, maybe on your way to work, you play a video that's, motivating, you're learning something, it's going to give you that positivity that you need to go into your work day. Maybe before you go to bed, you read 5 to 10 pages. Maybe on your lunch break, you read. Like, you're just finding ways throughout your day to pour into you becoming better and pouring into you becoming a more positive person, because that's what this is all about. You want to operate at a level where you are positive, not that fake positive energy stuff, but where how you feel on the inside will reflect on the inside. You've healed in a lot of ways. You've done the work to really understand who you were meant to be and who you truly are and what your mission is here on earth. And so when you are operating at that level, or for you to operate at that level, you have to do the work to get there. And so you want to be somebody who radiates that energy, who's positive, who, you don't see things from such a negative perspective. Not to say that you're not critical, because when you go through things, you do want to think critically and you do want to take data and learn from things, but you're not being negative about it, and you won't be perfect at it. This is not about being perfect. It's just about knowing how to regulate your emotions, knowing how to deal with problems in a healthy way, because there is a healthy way of dealing with issues. No matter what the media will try to tell you, there are healthy ways to deal with your problems. So anyways, find ways to educate yourself on a daily basis. Like I said, for me, when I'm driving, I drive a lot, I listen to videos that are, what I want to listen to, that are helping me to think on a higher level. I'm reading a book. And I know you can also listen to audiobooks. I don't really listen to audiobooks. I'm not an audiobook person. I prefer to read a physical book, but if you are somebody who can listen to audiobooks, do that. Get you a Kindle, but find ways to pour into your brain, because you want your brain operating at a high level. You want to be continuously, educating yourself. It doesn't stop when you finish high school and when you finish college. You want to be somebody who's well-rounded and who can help in different scenarios and different situations. And then lastly, but the most important thing out of all of these, this really should be number one, but I didn't put these in any particular order. You need to be feeding your spirit. Now, no matter what your religious beliefs are, or what your spiritual life is like, you need to be feeding your spirit, because we have the body, but we also have the spirit. You need to be feeding your spirit with positivity, with principles and values of how to deal with situations in life, with how to handle crisis, how to treat people, how to operate when you're at work, when work is crazy, or when your coworker says something crazy, or when management is crazy. You need to have a baseline of principles of how to operate in those situations. Now, there's a logical side, but then to me, there's also the spiritual side, because it's easy to, want to get revenge, or want to be angry, or want to get an attitude back. But when you are somebody who wants to operate at a high level, you're going to find spiritual ways to deal with those situations. For example, when I'm in a car, this is like the easiest example I can give, because I've been experiencing this lately. I live in Atlanta. Y'all know traffic and driving is crazy. People will cut you off. They don't care. But specifically in my parking garage, there's 2 lanes, and people will cut the corner too close because they don't think that there's another car coming around. And initially, I want to get angry. And I used to. But since I've been on this journey, now I don't say anything. I may take a deep breath, and then I tell myself they're in a rush. That's what I say. I'm like, they're in a rush. They got somewhere to be. They got to get to work. They're late. They got to go pick up somebody from the hospital, take somebody to the hospital, whatever. whatever they got going on was a lot more important than what I got going on. So I'm gonna just let it be. Whatever I gotta tell myself to keep myself calm, to keep myself operating at a high level, not letting external things dictate what's going on in here. And so that's the type of person that you want to be. You're not going to be perfect, and there are things where maybe you may not be able to do that. You know, something that's so chaotic, so crazy, so just like out of this world that your reaction is just so natural you can't even help it. Cool. But what I'm saying is, on a daily basis, you don't want to be angry all the time. You don't want to have bad attitudes. You don't want to get smart or sarcastic about every little thing. And those are some things that I really had to work on, and I'm still working on. Just learning how to react in a better way from a more healthy perspective, and being more people-centered, people-focused, to the point where I'm not, you know, I don't look at them as a problem. The situation is a problem. And this is all from my spiritual beliefs. I feel like me just getting in my Bible and just learning how Jesus operated on earth and how God wants us to operate on earth. As you read the word, and it's talking about being calm and being slow to speak, and you know, easy to listen. You're listening to the person more than being so quick to respond to, you know, what they're saying. You're more, you know, you're being an active listener, and you're not listening to respond, but you're listening to understand. Those are some of the things that you want to be able to do so you can better your relationships. All those things are things that I pretty much got from reading my word and understanding why these things are important. I don't just read the Bible and take it for what it is. I take it and I analyze it like, okay, this makes sense. Like, this actually does help my relationship. And so feeding your spirit daily, reading, if you have daily devotionals, if you have, you know, those Bible plans that you can do. I have a Bible plan that I'm following, reading the Bible in 52 weeks, you know, listening to gospel music, positive music, you know, just staying on that high level. Okay. Just being able to, even when your day is bad, you got something to run to help you calm down and just get back to that equilibrium state where you're at peace, you're calm, and you're ready to tackle on the next day. So these are things that I'm doing daily. I'm not perfect at it, but pretty much this is my baseline. I work out. I strength train 4 days a week, cardio throughout those days. I have one full rest day where I don't do anything, but I still, you know, make sure I'm moving around, whether I'm doing stuff around the house or if I'm out running errands. I'm not just sitting in one spot the entire day. I eat clean. I cook most of my meals. I pay attention to my environment. Me and my husband, we are pretty close to the point where, like, we don't hang around a lot of people. We are looking for relationships with people who are on the same level and frequency that we're on, but we're not spending a lot of time with people who are negative, gossiping, toxic, things like that. And I can also say that for myself with friends. I don't have a lot of friends. I want more friends. I want more people around me who are on the same type of time, but that's really hard to find these days in 2025. I educate myself. Like I said, I'm reading. That is something that I'm working on more, just making it more of a priority. So I'm making sure that I'm reading, like I said, 5 to 10 pages a day. I do it when I'm walking, on a treadmill. I like to do it like when I'm on break at work, or even just like in between those car rides when, you know, I'm in between training clients and I have a little bit of a gap. Read my book. I take my book with me everywhere I go. So yes, guys, feeding the spirit. I think that's the top thing that I want to say. Feed yourself with positivity, with, you know, healthy values and belief systems that will help you to become a better overall person. So if you like this type of content, if you like this video, go ahead and comment what you think about it. What are you doing to operate at your highest level to become your best self? And I will see you guys in my next video.